For today's meditation, we are reading from Numbers chapter 22, verses 1 to 6. Then the people of Israel set out and camped in the plains of Moab, beyond the Jordan at Jericho. And Balak, the son of Zippor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. And Moab was in great dread of the people, because they were many. Moab was overcome with fear of the people of Israel. And Moab said to the elders of Midian, "This horde will now lick up all that is around us, as the ox licks up the grass of the field." So Balak, the son of Zippor, who was king of Moab at that time, sent messengers to Balaam, the son of Beor at Pethor, which is near the river in the land of the people of Ammon, to call him, saying, "Behold, a people has come out of Egypt. They cover the face of the earth, and they are dwelling opposite me. Come now, curse this people for me, since they are too mighty for me. Perhaps I shall be able to defeat them and drive them from the land. For I know that he whom you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse is cursed." Balaam is a complicated character in the Bible. He is introduced as Balaam, the son of Beor at Pethor, which is near the river. The river often refers to the river Euphrates, leading to the inference that he was from a faraway place. Balak, the king of Moab, was so afraid of the might of Israel that he was convinced that he could not win over them in a war. So he turns to a diviner to weaken the Israelites by cursing them. The fame of Balaam had gone far and wide. Balak says about Balaam, "For I know that he whom you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse is cursed." These are blasphemous words, for they are the very same words that God said to Abraham when he called him out of the Ur of the Chaldeans. In Genesis chapter 12, verse 3, we read, "I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you I will curse. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." Blessings come only from God, and no one can curse those whom God has blessed. The real blessing can only be received by those who fear God and bless His people. In the next 3 chapters, we see the interaction between Balak and Balaam and the oracles of Balaam over Israel. We see the hypocrisy and greed in this man. Firstly, when God appeared to him the first time and said very clearly, "You shall not go with them, you shall not curse the people, for they are blessed," he only repeated the first part of the message to the king's emissaries, concealing the most important part. If only he had told them the very purpose for which they had come to him was impossible, the interaction would have ended with that. He cannot curse them, for God has blessed them, period. But his greed led him to convey only part of the message. Secondly, trying to persuade God to let him do what he wanted when he already knew the mind of God. God had said, "You shall not go with them" in the first place. To again go to him and ask, "Shall I go with them?" reveals his underlying love for the money that Balak offered if he would. Peter calls it madness. 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 15. "Forsaking the right way, they have gone astray. They have followed their Balaam, the son of Beor, who loved gain from wrongdoing, but was rebuked for his own transgression. A speechless donkey spoke with human voice and restrained the prophet's madness." Thirdly, in his interaction with the donkey, which asked him, "What have I done to you that you have struck me with these 3 times? And Balaam said to the donkey, "Because you have made a fool of me, I wish I had a sword in my hand, for then I would kill you." He was deaf and blind to the miracle of having a donkey speak to him in a human voice. Though he was called a seer, he was not able to see the angel which his donkey saw. His greed blinded him to the presence and will of God. Fourthly, desire is not reality. In his first oracle, he said, "Let me die the death of the upright." and let my end be like his, to have the death of the upright. We should live like the upright. His life was anything but upright. Fifthly, in his interaction with Balak and from his experience with the people of Israel, Balaam became convinced that it was impossible to bring a curse upon the people of Israel from the outside. Yet more, God changed his plans inside out so that he blessed them despite his intention to curse them. The decree of God is infallible. No power can stand against him. Sixthly, when he found that he could not curse them overtly, he counseled Balak to carry out a devious plan whereby Israel would bring a curse upon themselves by their own deeds. In Numbers 31 verse 16, we see the commentary. Behold, this caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against the Lord in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the congregation of the Lord. Balak probably rewarded him for this evil but brilliant counsel. Many centuries later, John the Apostle had this to say about him in Revelation chapter 2 verse 14. But I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. The love of money is the root of all evil. Even though Balaam received great revelations about God and his people, Israel, he could not overcome his greed for the king's reward. He was not converted, but just a false prophet, prophesying faith in God, whom he neither served nor feared. Conversion is not just being convinced intellectually of certain truths about God and man, but returning to the way of life that is based on the fear of the living God who will judge all men. The way of Cain, the error of Balaam, and the gainsaying of Korah all have the same root. Knowledge without humble obedience is of no value. In Jude 11, we read, Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain, and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward, and perished in the gainsaying of Korah. True conversion is not making use of God for our own worldly profit. This is false religion. True conversion is grounded in the fear of God as our Creator and Judge. It leads us to be convinced of our sin in rebelling against His righteous commands, humble ourselves to ask for His mercy, and come to Him in the name of His Son, in which we have forgiveness. This is true salvation. It brings us into line with the will of God, that we live by faith in Him that leads to obedience, thus enabling us to exhibit the righteousness of God in our daily lives. Let us not twist prayer to accomplish our own desires, but quietly and willingly submit ourselves to God Almighty, that His will may completely dominate our lives. God bless.